Well, today's a protest that people are coming together for, as they are all over this country, to, argue about keeping families together. We know that many immigrants from many parts of the world, especially south of our borders, are trying to come to this country for a better life. And when they reach the border, they're being separated from their families, they're being separated from their kids, they're being removed from each other, and that's just not right. And so I think, like many kind-hearted, good people in this country, in thousands of cities all over the country, they're coming together to do this, to say, hey, we've had enough. This is not the Christian thing to do. This is not the right thing to do. This is not the legal thing to do. Kids should not be removed from their families. I mean, we have a process of immigration, and that's something that we need to work on and make better. And the current administration is really woefully, destroying the process, and they're trying to tighten those issues and make it harder for people and people from other parts of the world to be here. So I think the citizens of Traverse City want to join with the citizens of the state and this country to say, hey, we do not support this kind of behavior. We want to support our friends and our allies coming in from other parts of the country, as we all did, and let's do it right and let's do it fair, and not remove children from their parents. That's going to be devastating for these kids in the future. They're going to have psychological issues because of it. You don't put 5-year-olds and 2-year-olds in prison, which is what they're doing, and taking them away from their poor families. They will have psychological effects because of that. So I'm thrilled to see all these folks here, and let's take it to the streets and show action and show the world that we care. Oh, there's a good, I don't know, I would say there's, at least 1,000, maybe, 1,500 people maybe. I mean, I'm not a good guesstimate person, but there's a lot of people here. So Traverse City talked about being a sanctuary city, and I have supported that in the past, but we got a lot of backlash from people that are not supportive of those efforts. We encouraged the Human Rights Commission of Traverse City to review it, and the conversation got so ugly and mean that the Human Rights Commission did not feel comfortable talking about this issue anymore, because the meetings got rather nasty. People got physically, assaulted in these meetings, and so they kind of backed off of it, because people are just volunteers and people are caring people. They didn't sign up to be physically threatened, and so it's scary. So I don't know where we're at with it. I would really personally like to see some commitment from the Human Rights Commission and some other groups to come forward before we do this. So hopefully we can make it happen in the future, but as we all know, the current administration in Washington is making it very difficult for cities who do sign on to this. They're trying to take away their rights and their funding on various programs. If you should do that, it's basically bully tactics, and that's not the way this government operates, or it should operate. But we do have a person in office that's pushing his weight around and acting like he's a dictator, and that's really sad. This isn't the country that I was raised in. This isn't the country that my parents and my grandparents, were raised in. And even though my family are conservatives, they don't believe in this stuff. It's just, yeah. So hopefully, with more visible opportunities like this across the country, we can make change. And in August in the primaries and in November in the general election, we need to change up the system and get good people elected to office that are going to fight for the citizens and fight for our friends. Well, I know that we have a number of Christian groups, through our fellowship in the region, that are offering support for immigrants. We have several immigrant areas from around the country that come here and are supported by the churches. We have a good faith-based community that's helping it. I think Traverse City is amenable to it. I think we want to be welcoming and open, so anything that we can do, I think we need to start talking about it and brainstorming about how do we make it happen. Because unfortunately, a lot of this all comes down to money, and it comes down to who's going to pay for it all. And I mean, we could all be reasonable, but frustratingly so, the issues of Traverse City with roads and sidewalks and all the other infrastructure that we need to fix, a lot of our funds are tied up. So, but we could make things happen through our volunteer groups and get fundraisers going and try to work that out. So hopefully we can make something happen in the near future. But in the meantime, as I said, just keep speaking out, supporting our brothers and sisters coming from other parts of the country and the world, and we'll make change.